Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something really fascinating. It's a philosophical framework that gives us a totally new way of looking at a really old question. What's the deal with being wealthy and being a good person? I mean, this is a question that thinkers and religions have wrestled with for centuries, right? It almost always seems to pit having material success against having some kind of spiritual virtue. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? This famous line from the Bible seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? Most people read this and think, okay, being rich is bad for your soul. But according to the teachings of Master Gong, that's not it at all. This isn't a warning against wealth, it's actually describing someone who failed their mission. A failed mission? So what is that mission? Well, this philosophy suggests that the real dilemma, the real problem, isn't having the money. It's fundamentally misunderstanding why you have it in the first place. So in this way of thinking, wealth isn't some prize you win. It's more like a powerful tool, a kind of energy, and a really big test that's given to certain people who are meant to do a specific job for society. Think of it less like a reward and more like a job assignment. And this is where things get really interesting, because it's all about a shift in perspective. This sin, if you want to call it that, isn't being rich. It's seeing that wealth as something personal, something just for you to hoard and enjoy. The real failure is not understanding that it's a resource to be managed for the good of everyone. It's that failure, failing to use the wealth for the greater good, that makes it so hard to pass through that needle's eye. Okay, so to really get this whole mission thing, we have to zoom out. I mean, like way, way out. And ask, what's the point of being human anyway, according to this philosophy? Well, Master Gong's teachings say that life here on Earth, it's not actually the main event. Instead, think of Earth as a kind of cosmic training ground, a super advanced school designed specifically for our spirits to grow and learn. So what are we studying in this cosmic school? The main subject is something called infinite differentiation. This is the uniquely human talent for seeing, analyzing, and understanding all the endless variations of the universe. It's our ability to taste a million different things, to feel joy and heartbreak, to debate ideas, to create art. It's basically the operating system that makes us human. And get this ability is what makes us totally unique. According to Master Gong, no other beings, not animals, not even spirits in other realms, have this. It's our special power, and it's the engine that drives our spiritual growth. It's literally why we're here. Okay, so what's the point of all this? All this thinking and feeling and learning? Well, every single one of those experiences, from a huge scientific breakthrough to just, figuring out a personal problem, it all produces something, a kind of spiritual energy. Master Gong calls this quantum energy. And you can think of it as the sum total of all the knowledge, all the wisdom, and all the truth that humanity has ever created. All right, so if Earth is a school, what happens when you graduate? What's next? Well, this philosophy lays out a really unique and specific map for the soul's journey after this life. It's not just a one-step thing. It's a journey, a progression. First, you finish your training on Earth. Then, your soul moves on to this transitional place within our galaxy. And it's not a scary place of punishment. It's described as this huge, beautiful purgatory, almost like a cosmic layover. And after that, you reach the true destination, the cosmic celestial realm. Now, this is a really, really important part. In these teachings, nobody gets left behind. Nobody fails. Every single soul eventually makes it to this final realm. So the big question of life isn't if you'll get there, it's what's your job going to be when you do? Yeah, so you can just throw out that old idea of a simple heaven and hell. The celestial realm is more like a massive, complex, cosmic society with countless different jobs and roles. Your position there isn't some reward or punishment handed down by a judge. It's just the spot that perfectly fits the person you became, the knowledge and development you gained back here on Earth. Okay, so let's circle all the way back to our original question. Where does money, where does wealth on Earth fit into this huge cosmic picture? All right, the key concept we need to understand is called mass. And don't think of physical mass like weight. Think of it more like your spirit's gravity or its capacity. It's the grand total of all the wisdom and understanding you've built up on Earth. The more you've learned and grown, the greater your mass. And here's where it all connects. According to Master Gong, wealth isn't just random. It's not about luck. It's an energy that literally gets drawn to people who have a large spiritual mass. Why? Because they're the only ones with the capacity to actually handle it. This leads to a really cool and powerful metaphor. The rich don't actually own their wealth. They're just the warehouse keepers. They've just been put in charge of this massive supply of society's energy, but it was never really theirs to begin with. So here's the bottom line. Their mission on Earth, their whole job, is to manage that energy properly, to use it to help people, to move society forward, to fix things. If you don't do that, you've failed your mission. And that is the camel trying to get through the eye of the needle. It was never the money that was the problem. It was the responsibility that was ignored. That's what blocks your path. Okay, so let's put all the pieces together here. Earth is a school. The afterlife is a cosmic society. Wealth is a tool. What does it all mean for us? It really boils down to a few core ideas. First, everyone's life has a purpose. We all have a part to play in this big spiritual development project. Second, whatever we're given in life, a little or a lot, it's not just for us. They're the tools we need to do our specific job. And finally, your place in the universe isn't decided by what you owned. It's decided by what you did with what you were responsible for. So, this way of thinking really flips the script. It pushes us to stop asking, what can I get? And start asking, what have I been given to manage? And what great work am I supposed to do with it? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.